Hi, today is November 5th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1773 for the year, Trip. The airplane looked so small against the big and darkening sky. There was a longing to be engulfed or swept up and away, to be blanketed by clouds, broken into droplets, to fall to pieces and then to fall to earth, or instead to be placed inside the airplane and to go wherever it was going to, no matter how mundane or exotic. There was a sense of being ready to take off and then to land and then to set feet on the ground again. Poem number 1774, Back. The clock wanted to be set back way more than an hour. The clock wanted to go back to a time before clocks, a time before sundials, a time before the sun. The clock wanted to go back to before the beginning. The clock was fucking nuts. The clock needed to chill. The clock managed to go back, but only an hour, and that would have to be enough for the clock. Poem number 1775, Tebapla. The alphabet wanted to go backwards too. Call me Tebapla, the alphabet shouted. ZXY, WVUT, SRQPOM, and fucking LKJ. Hey, shut the fuck up, the numbers shouted. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it's 6 o'clock, the alphabet said. And then the alphabet added loudly, IHGFE. Then the alphabet was quiet for a very long time, which drove the numbers crazy. DCBA, the numbers finally shouted, and go fuck yourself, alphabet. I told you before, I am Tebapla, the alphabet said. Then the numbers threw a brick at the alphabet's head, which shut the alphabet up for a while. Poem number 1776, Independence. Then one of the numbers separated from the rest of the group and asserted its independence. I no longer consider myself to be one of the numbers, and no, I am not going to tell you all that I should now be referred to as a rebmun, a rebmun. And no, I'm going to start again. Poem number 1776, Independence. Then one of the numbers separated from the rest of the group and asserted its independence. I no longer consider myself to be one of the numbers, and no, I am not going to tell you all that I should now be referred to as a rebmun, but I am going to insist that I no longer be lumped in or clumped in or plopped in or glopped in with the rest of the numbers. I am not having it anymore. 10 or 12 of the other numbers asked if they could join the new whatever it was, the new not a number, and they were told that indeed they could. One of the numbers who chose to remain a number said to the rest of the numbers, I was afraid that this was going to happen when that goddamn alphabet started coming around here. Another number said, perhaps we were wrong to throw that brick. Perhaps all we did was create a martyr. The remaining numbers could sense that one of their number was about to give a long and passionate speech about security and existential threats, and so they quickly agreed that they would do better to close off further discussion, lest they be seen as a metaphor for something. Poem number 1777, Hour. Oh, this is going to be tricky because okay, so I have this whole extra hour. What am I going to do with it? I feel like I should try to use it wisely, but I don't feel very wise today. Maybe I should go running, but what if I run into some marathoners? If only I could give this hour to someone who really needs it. All over the world, there are undertimed people who would give their right arm for just a couple of minutes, and here I am with 60 of them that I don't know what to do with. It's an embarrassment of riches. I feel like the 1% over here with my goddamn fucking extra hour that I have done nothing to deserve. Sometimes I hate how unfair the world is, but my guilt over how the universe has literally just handed me an extra hour that I don't need is not going to help anyone. Guilt is worthless unless it can be channeled into something positive. So let me finish today's poems and figure out what to do next. Damn, this poem, if it can even be called a poem, was a waste of time. At least I saved some time by not bothering to figure out where the line breaks go. If I keep saving time like this and add it to the extra hour I have, I'm going to end up back in yesterday. Then what the fuck will I do? Poem number 1778, Fork. I hate when I wake up and there are dishes in the sink, but this morning, I don't know, I must have been tired last night, and I left a fucking fork in the sink, and I tried to wash it, and I don't know what the fuck that shit was that was on the fork, but I was like, fuck this, and I could have said fork this, but I swear to fucking God, I didn't. I said, fuck this, and I put some water in a fucking cup, and I let that shit soak while I did my meditation, and fuck me if that shit that was on that fucking fork wasn't completely gone 20 minutes later, and washing that fork was a fucking snap after that. Of course, I had to wash the fucking cup too, but it was fucking worth it. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1779, Water. I thought I would end today's set of poems, or shits, or whatever the fuck they are, with a word about water. But I already wrote a poem called Water more than 30 years ago. It's on the Real Men record. But then again, I've probably duplicated titles before. I just checked to see if last year's poem number 1776 was also called Independence, but it wasn't. It was called 1776. But still, my point is taken. I wanted to marvel about how the water got that shit off the fork. I mean, I could have gotten it off eventually myself, but the water got that shit off by just being water. I would have had to have gone out of my way. But the water went its actual way. It went the way of water. It did what water does. It just got that shit right off that fork. I guess that's all I wanted to say about water just now. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.